Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's your boy, cwhip9 here, back to give you his thoughts on the newest episode The Bad Batch just dropped, Season 3, Episode 4. And it's disappointing. I have to admit I was kind of disappointed by this. By a couple of reasons. Let's just start with the good stuff about this episode. So, it's starting off right away, where the last episode left off, with Crosshair and Omega. Great! That's actually pretty cool. I was kind of hoping we would find why it was such a long gap for Omega to eventually, because everybody knew Omega was going to meet the Bad Batch one way or another, right? Oh, yeah, spoiler warning, like my last Bad Batch video, I'm going to be probably spoiling the entire episode. So if you haven't seen it, click away, or if you don't care about seeing it and you want to hear my thoughts, keep watching. Anyway, so, starts out with Crosshair and Omega still breaking out, they're flying, and their ship is damaged. They're trying to figure out what the hell to do next, right? So they decide to crash land. This is pretty good, you know, this gets the plot going as a gauge, and like, alright, what's Omega and Crosshair going to do? They find a spaceport down east, but as they crash, they make the next spot, they decide to go there. Okay, makes pretty much sense. And then problems start happening. Not because, okay, well, you'll see what I mean. Because they get there, they're trying to find some way to get off the planet safely and undercover. So Omega decides, hey, you know what? Why don't we just go ask that chaos person how much, and let's see if we could convince them to let us on in. Crosshair's like, you realize I could kill half of these people before they know what's going on, which I kind of forgot how bloodthirsty Crosshair actually was. So the fact that the first opening line, well, maybe not the opening line, but the first line he thinks of as Omega is trying to peace play and Paragon her way through, trying to get off world. He's always the literal devil on his shoulder, like let's kill them all. Come on, let's kill them all. We can solve all the problems. Let's just kill them all. Which that was kind of cool to see. That was nice to see too, because it was a good reminder of what Crosshair is, which is basically a biological weapon. So that was pretty nice to see. Then, so they find out they need a lot of money, and in order to bribe their way onto it. So they swing by a bar, and Omega thinks, "Hey, we see somebody playing poker. Let's see if I still got some poking. Not see if I got some poking. English, sorry. See if I got any poker plays in me. You know." I don't remember her playing poker in season 1 or 2. Unless that's kind of an off-screen thing that they were trying to kind of explain, but oh yeah, she's good at playing cards because she did it on downtime, and we really didn't need to dedicate a scene to that. It's like, okay, I can understand I'm not really needing to dedicate a scene, but maybe a scene or two of her losing a card game in season 1 or 2. You know, again, I don't remember that happening in season 1 or 2. I'm still rewatching season 1 for my retrospective, so if I find it, I'll probably add it. But she basically takes the main guy's money, who's been kind of dealing and winning the games nonstop at the bar. Okay, it's a little bit rough, but that's still kind of a problem, because that kind of ticks the Omega 2 meter. It's like, alright, suddenly she's an ace at poker. Okay. So then the Imperial shows up. The Imperial kind of sheriff decides to play her, and they kind of cut past a couple of rounds, and she wins the pot. Even though the sheriff is kind of poking her and, you know, trying to figure out, this kid at a bar kind of taking a lot of money from people. That's a little strange. And then the sheriff decides to hit them with one bomb of, oh yeah, gambling's illegal, by the way. Which, doesn't make sense with how open the bar was to somebody playing beforehand. So either that was an actual law that he instated, or he literally pulled that out of his ass. I'm thinking the latter, just for the sake of the plot. Because, a plot's gotta happen, cwhip. Yes, I get that, but at least try to make it have sense, you know? That's my second problem with that. It's like, he just pulled this out because he still wants his cut back. Which is like, alright, well, he's a corrupted sheriff. Fair enough. She gives him a cut, and then they head on out. Now, about her little puppers that she really, really cared for in the first episode of season 3. And, I mean, the design on the animal is pretty cool. It's kind of a rhino, pig, dog thing, which is, okay, I could kind of get behind that. And a kid is going to be a kid, alright? They see an animal, they get... And Omega, so far in the rewatch I'm watching, she's very attuned to talking and, well, not talking to animals, but basically caring for animals and interacting with animals. So, yeah, they gave her another pet. The pet goes missing. And then one little moment, I understand more now why it happened. Don't like why it happened. But, so, Crosshair and Omega have the money to go to the kiosk to bribe what's-his-face so they could get on the ship. They got enough money to do it. But Omega wants to find the dog. She needs to find the dog. So, Omega literally just shoves the money to Crosshair and says, you know what, I'll do it on my own without you. And then she starts walking off. Now, I was really hoping that, this is going to sound really bad, but I was really hoping Crosshair would actually get to the kiosk and then turn around back to Omega. No, what does he do? He turns around, he starts going back, but then he stops himself, looks back. Omega is just going the opposite way to where they were told where her lost puppers is. And then we see them try to break into the animal court ground thing that the Imperials were basically taking all the pets from. Okay. What happens next is pretty expected, you know. They get in, the sheriff spots them. Hey, what are you doing here? And and sure enough, a fight happens. The animals break out due to Omega shenanigans, and they get off the planet on the ship with their doggo, as the animals are absolutely wrecking the Imperials, which, with how they animated that scene, it reminded me way too much of The Last Jedi. Yeah, that stampeding scene from the casino. Yeah, it's basically that, but just more animals and a lot more blasted fire on the animals, and that's. I really don't like being reminded of a bad Star Wars product, considering it was a Star Wars product that I was really hoping, like many of us, and probably many of you watching this, Last Jedi would actually be a good continuation where the Force Unleashed left off, but that'll be another video for another time, and people smarter and better than me have covered why The Last Jedi sucks. So, anyway, yeah, back to the episode. So, they get onto the new ship, and Omega finds a way to send a signal out to the Bad Batch, letting them know, hey, we're going to this planet, meet us there. Crosshair brings up a good point. It's like, yo, we gotta ditch this. She's like, yeah, don't worry, I know. And then Crosshair brings up a very valid point. It's been months. We don't know if they're going to be there. And I would have been impressed if when they landed and the Bad Batch wasn't there, but it was actually an Imperial ship or a ship full of pirates that got a hold of Single or something like that. Because with how the opening started, I was kind of hoping a bigger adventure for Omega to try to get back to the Bad Batch and vice versa. But no, they literally just solved it all in one episode, which kind of kills the point of how Season 2 ended. A bit. That's my third and fourth problem. It's like Okay, hold on. I'm just at the last bit of the episode. So she gets off the ship, and there's a little bit of tense moment here. I was thinking, okay, no, that's not the Bad Batch. It has to be a different ship. There's no way. And then Wrecker walks out, and I'm like, I can't get mad at my best boy, man. I mean, yes, I'm a Wrecker fan. I'm sorry. Yes, he is the closest thing we've gotten to actual Republic Commandos on screen, which, don't worry, that's another video. There's another video for future. But, so Wrecker greets her, then Hunter greets her, and it's a good butterflies, you know? It's the warmy, hugging bit. It probably would have been a lot better if it took longer for Omega and Crosshair to meet the Bad Batch, and we actually saw them struggle a little bit more. That's probably my biggest complaint with this episode. And then it ends with Crosshair and Wrecker and Hunter not really hugging each other, just looking at each other, staring at each other. Like, all right, what you gonna do, buddy? You know? Which... that just because of how fast they got Omega to the Bad Batch, I'm really not liking what they're doing with Omega right now. It's not helping the argument that propped up of, oh, Omega's just being a Mary Sue, which is like, I didn't expect to hear that about Omega originally before I started rewatching it, but I'm starting to see that Mary Sue flag pop up a little bit more often than I like to admit. So, that's my initial thoughts. I did a recording earlier today, right afterward, but then I had to go to work. And that last recording was shit. It was shit quality. It wasn't a conversational piece that I could confidently say. So I apologize for the lateness of this video. So, moving forward, I still am going to be trying to give you my honest thoughts and opinions while I watch the episode. And I made a mistake I made a mistake on the first episode of watching it with the stream of Star Wars Theory. No offense to Theory. Like, the watch-along streams are a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. But I'm trying to give you my own genuine thoughts. So, to those who might have thought the last video was kind of piggybacking off what other people say, I'm trying not to piggyback. I'm just trying to give you cwhip's main thoughts about that. So, yeah. Hope you guys like and enjoy this little reaction spoiler review. What do I think is going to happen next? Well, I'll tell you what I want to happen next before I tell you what I think what happens next. What I want to happen next is a brutal cat and chouse. I don't know what chouse is. Cat and mouse chase between the Bad Batch and the Imperials now. Because one little detail I left out when I was trying to summarize it, the fact that they keep referring to, oh, Omega's special clone. Oh, Omega, we need her blood because her M count matches with the data. And yeah, I don't know how I feel about them saying M count instead of midichlorians, because even though I just stumbled upon that, and that is a little bit of a longer word, yes, but midichlorians, that actually, the way it sounds, it actually means something, you know? And actually, the midichlorians, it sounds like it has weight to it, you know? M count, it's like, okay, so are we counting or like capital or little, like lowercase counts, you know? Are we counting mice? Is that what the new counting power scale is in Star Wars? Mice counting, you know? So I understand why they abbreviate it, because like midichlorians could be just a long word and tired to write about over and over and over and over again. But it still has enough weight. It still gives the idea of the Force actual weight, and it still gives the idea of, you know what, not everybody has the Force, which lot of noise I'm hearing about Star Wars. That seems to be what they're pushing for Force users now in Star Wars, where instead of how it used to be, oh, maybe a select few have the Force, and it was actually a thing. You know, when a giant walked in, it's like, yo, everybody back up. But now everybody has the Force. It's like, okay, are you watering down like the Super Saiyan effect? Because please don't do that. Dragon Ball is still trying to make up for doing that dance. As much as I love Dragon Ball, I don't know if I might make a Dragon Ball video in the future. Let me know if you want me to talk about Dragon Ball in the future. Anyway, so yeah, what I want to happen next is a very harsh and brutal cat and mouse chase between the Bad Batch and the Imperials. Here's what I think's going to happen again. I'm expecting a filler episode for episode 5, where maybe Hunter might be asking, yo, Omega, what, how did he get out of there and all that. I also am expecting kind of a recompense scene, a hard I'm sorry guys from Crosshair, because Crosshair is a broken man right now. And it shows quite a lot, specifically how often his hand is now shaking. And I'm glad they added that in. And Crosshair is still one of the main characters I still want to show up for. It's like, all right, what are they going to do to the poor lad Crosshair? Aside from Wrecker, because let's be honest, Wrecker is the best out of the Bad Batch. All right. Hashtag Wrecker Bad Batch. I don't have Twitter. Whatever promotional stuff they can do for Wrecker, I'm on board with it. All right. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. I think I'm expecting a filler arc, and I'm expecting maybe one fight scene in the next episode. I hope I am pleasantly wrong, and I hope I am pleasantly surprised in the next episode, like I usually hope for Star Wars, because Season 3, it still has that fun kind of hard gritty-ness that the Season 1 had. I haven't started watching rewatching Season 2 yet. I might change that in Season 2, but it still has a little bit of that harsh layer of this is the era of Star Wars where everybody is scared to death because of the kind of violent, hard flexing the Empire is doing on anything they can. So I'm glad they're still keeping that tone with the show. And the chain code bit, I am also glad they're still keeping consistent through the seasons. So, am I expecting any characters to die next episode? Maybe Crosshair, to be completely honest. And if they do kill off any characters next episode, it will be either a Crosshair for doing a last minute, oh, here, let me redeem myself, or probably the Imperial Admiral that keeps on bungling up trying to catch Omega, which would be something Palpatine would absolutely do. Unless the bad guy Admiral could convince Palpatine, not, okay, yeah, she got away, but trust me, man, I know how to get her. I'm kind of expecting that scene to happen too. So, but I think that probably won't happen because when they start killing off one of the main characters, I'm expecting it this season. It's going to be at the tail end. Just like how they killed Tech. Yeah, no, just because of how little Star Wars takes death seriously. And, well, pretty much since the Obi-Wan show. If Tech pops up, I will be a little disappointed. But, I mean, as long as they make him pop up actually make sense, I'll be happy. So, now I'm actually going to end the video now. I hope you guys liked. If you liked, please like, share, subscribe, and comment below. What do you think is going to happen next in Episode 5? What do you want to happen in Episode 5? What do you not want to have happen in Episode 5? Or do you just want rocks fall and all the characters die and then that's the end of the Bad Batch? let me know down below. Let's see if we can get this Star Wars side on my channel actually kicking up. I hope you guys enjoy and like this. Share, subscribe, and until next time, may the Force be with you, and fight on, Battle Brothers.